History has no blank pages. Every warning is written, every sign is there. The question is, did we listen? And if not, why? And what are the consequences of us not listening? When Chris Hani walked out of the Cordesa, he said something very powerful, something very profound, something that we were not supposed to forget, something that is still there, something that you and I can take in consideration today. Let's listen to what he said. All right, let's read this together. It says, history has no blank pages. When Chris Hani walked out of the Cordesa negotiations, he said, I did not go to prison. I wasn't jumping around on the street. I was on the forefront of the MK soldiers. I was one of the first to cross the Zambezi River. I saw the blood of our people flowing like a river. Oof, how heartbreaking. They didn't die fighting for freedom of movement, but they died fighting for the land. So therefore, I cannot let their blood go in vain by signing these documents. Whew. I will not sign this until you return our land. According to me, that was not just a statement. It was a warning. And is it a warning that South Africans heeded? And then he was gone, assassinated. And then, less than a month, we see these guys celebrating with the people who are refusing to hand over the land back to its rightful owners. And the same system that caused the shedding of the blood of our people remain, just with different clothes, dressed differently and spiced differently, but the same system. You've seen this picture. You've seen Mandela sitting and smiling with the very same people who did us dirty. 4 generations. Before I continue, let's talk about history a little bit. Let's get factual. When it comes to the land, South Africa didn't have to just win one war. It was centuries of war for our land. It had to do with control of power, control of resources, control of labor, and control of politics. And all this is centered around land. So I'm not going to go from when they landed in South Africa, but I'm going to start in 1913 with the Native Land Act. They put together land restriction that made it impossible, made it illegal for your ancestors and mine to own the land. They actually just, except for fractions, Ama Township, the townships that we love so much, they didn't even own the majority of the township. So legally, I hear EFF people say, it's against the law. KwaZulu-Natal people, they're barbaric, they don't follow the law. An unjust law is no law at all. So that battle was right there. Then we move forward to 1948 to 1994, where the apartheid had its own unjust laws, again, EFF, enforcing segregation, and not just segregation of the bodies of our ancestors, but the segregation of education, segregation of jobs. So we were fighting for the land even during the apartheid time, 1948 to 1994, sorry. By the 1990s, the colonizers, the apartheid government, the apartheid people were already met with such heavy resistance, international pressure, and economic strain that they had no choice but to come to the table. And then what happened in the Codesa, Mandela says, hey, we couldn't build our land on blood, but the blood was already shed. I guess he didn't want more blood on the land or for the land. And he was afraid Guti radical change is gonna just destabilize us as people. So he didn't want Guti Sife fast. He wanted a slow, gradual unaliving, because he surely must have known Guti it was the same thing, just dressed differently, because the majority of the land is still owned by them. And I know Guti Amahlanya, they're gonna come here, Banjelo Guti, hey, what about the royal states and ish. Guys, I'll make another video about this land thing. Anyway, so what Mandela was promising was that stable transition. So why is the transitioning not happening? Why are we not having the transition that he was hoping that we were gonna get? I mean, we've all seen this picture with Mandela sitting so comfortably with these people. We've seen Mandela with a robe, Kudi Oppenheimer's house, and all that. We were actually, our ancestors were promised progress. They were promised freedom. They say that the laws of South Africa are the most progressive laws. They will protect us. We will be safe. Look around you. No, seriously, I know you're watching this video, but look around, Pandle, wherever you are. Do you see freedom? Are your people financially, economically, psychologically free? Do you see freedom politically? Ngoba we are ruled ngabo Ket Matlala, Umkhulu, nabo Nono, Bobegikele. Is that what political freedom is? Load shedding, unemployment, 42% of youth unemployed. Is that freedom? Is this what Mandela was talking about? Is this what Mandela sidelined Chris Hani for? Giabuza. Peace. They were promised their land back. They were promised. Let's be serious. People struggling everywhere. Infrastructure collapsing everywhere. People have been waiting more than 20 years for RDP houses. They've even given up on RDP houses. They're saying, I just want to work. But there's an influx of illegal immigrations. People right now, umuntu wakhona in Nigeria or in Zimbabwe, if you stand head to head with umlungu, you know what they're going to take inside the mlungu. You know they're going to fight nomlungu against you. Bank, First National Bank, Net Bank. Our people are losing money. Or there's internal corruption even into banks. And then Home Affairs says we're going to take the role of immigration papers and put it into banks because banks can be trusted. Is this what Mandela was promising us now? Are we happy? Nyakubuza, when I'm watching this, are you happy with what's happening? And if you're not, what are you doing to change it? Please don't be a criminal like them. Be on the side of Chris Hani, not on the side of Lela Lisela. I have to be honest with you. It's time that we accept that uncomfortable truth, because the truth is not always comfortable. That some of the people we called our heroes are actually not our heroes. Some of the moments where we called it pure, the Rainbow Nation, were actually not pure moments. They were dressed up as pure moments, but inside they were just as dark and insidious as always. Not every deal that was made in the name of peace. Some of you, you just have to accept Uti Aushem. You've been played here in South Africa. The warning was given. Mangope said, this is the government Yamahold, Musho Yamahold. Chris Hani said, I'm not signing this deal. We just didn't hear. You watching this, you are probably not born yet. But you have to realize, Uguti, your ancestors, our ancestors, Baba Robile. And what are we going to do about it? Don't get me wrong, this is not about blaming Mandela. I'm not trying to blame a person. This is not about me trying to rewrite history and say, oh, this didn't happen, this happened this way. This is also not about me trying to say, Mandela was intentionally betraying us, or Abazungu, they were intentionally leading us. I don't care. History is history. But when you understand history, you are able to make the right decisions that can rectify the situation that we're in. So this is about you and I understanding what is happening also while we live the experience, because we are here where we are today because the decisions that were made yesterday, the decisions that were made in the past. So what are the decisions that you and I are going to make so that our children don't find themselves in a worse condition? This is what this video is about. So my question to you, write in the comment, what decision are you going to make? It could be as little as voting for the right party, or it could be as big as being an activist movement. Now we're open Forum to History has no blank papers. History has no blank pages. The answers are everywhere. What happened? Who was silent? Who went to which side? The results are here. Looking at you and me in the face. You and I are living and breathing the results of the choices made in the past. The question is not what happened. The question is, what are we going to do about what we know? I believe we need to start talking about history so we can know which way to go as a people. So like, share, subscribe, comment. I'll see you in the comments. I always reply to comments.